Morning, morning, morning. How you doing? How about some coffee? How about a little coffee? Oh man, I ain't even looked in the mirror yet, man. That's how drowsy I still am. This is my morning mirror time right here. Good morning. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. Past couple of mornings has been so hard to wake up because of the sleep aids that I used the night before. Oh, yes, I use sleep aids. Yes, I do. I just always have something to. I mean, I don't guess I need it, but one of those things. Once you start doing it, kind of becomes a habit. Um, but anyway, I like a very specific type of sleep aid, and I use the sleep gummies. And last time I didn't go to the store. I sent her to the store. I said, "Look, these are the kind to get. Get these, please." And she couldn't find them, so she got something different. Whatever she got, oh man, little gummies. You chew up the it's like little gummy candies, with sleepy medicine in it. It packs a punch, boy. Pow! It just knocks you out. And then morning it is so hard to get up. I'm gonna have to buy something different. I was telling her last night, I was like, babe, I appreciate it, but dude, you got the wrong kind. Oh, those kick me too hard and give me the weirdest, most vivid, strange, funky dreams, It's just I don't like it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Oh. Anyway, good morning. Good morning. I have some coffee. We're gonna sit and blab for a minute. I completely forgot the kids aren't here this morning. I woke up, totally forgot that they had, like we were saying, this was the first time that they've ever like gone somewhere and we've not had them overnight. I totally forgot. I see their bedroom doors open. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Are they downstairs like digging in the kitchen or something? What's going on? So I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Anyway, how's everybody doing? And we got a few people in the house now. Lillian, Leandro, Jackie, Irene, Dawn, Mary, Charlie, Jennifer. What's up, people? Kelly, howdy doody. No, we didn't run naked around the house. No. No, we pretty much came straight home and went to bed last night, for the most part. Went and played with the kitten for a little bit. Gave him some company. Because that's his little base camp, because, I knew that it was going to be a task, but I didn't know how extensive introducing a new kitten into a house of pre-existing cats was going to be. You know what I mean? That's a task. It's a task because our black and white cat, he's just I'm convinced he was the runt. He's like special ed, he's not all there, and whatever. I'm not worried about him, but the orange cat, he's pissed. He's very fucking angry that we brought a new cat into the house. He is pissed. He's got an attitude all day, every day. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, dude. And a couple of times we've tried to like get him close. He hisses at him, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck? This is gonna be some extensive adjusting this month, So, yep. Oh. Anyway, get some more coffee in me. Wake up a little bit more, man. Oh. So what y'all got going on today? I slept in a little bit later than I normally do. Strange, weird, vivid, funky dreams, man. I hate that. I can't stand it when you wake up, for whatever reason, you carry that, whatever other dimension you were playing around in while you were asleep, you carry it like all the way over with you to this one, and it's still there. You can still feel it, and it's just like, feels weird, I hate that. I can't stand that, Can't stand that. I don't know why my consciousness can't sleep. It's got to go do shit while the body sleeps. I wish it would just sleep too, but I guess that's not how it works, So, anyway. I had weird, funky, vivid, strange dreams, and I'm still like, I feel like I'm still in them right now, you know? Hate it. Yeah, just relax, let the universe do its thing. Yeah, that's what it's doing. That's what it's doing. Well, go back to the same place in different dreams. Yeah, from time to time. Yeah, from time to time. I mean, to me, I'm trying to explain what it is that's so uncomfortable about it, because I mean, I get it. I'm not surprised by it. Okay, that's just a different dimension. That's all it is. You know, it's just a dimension, just like one of these. Only it's a different density. And when the ego goes to sleep, the spirit, the consciousness, goes and plays around and does other things while the ego body sleeps. Okay, I get that, but I don't want to bring it with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. It didn't feel good. It feels really fucking weird and funky. You know, it's kind of like when you have past life memories. You ever do that? I've been getting those pretty heavy here for the past few months. Crazy, like past life memories. It brings this weird, funky, strange sensation, you know? It's so hard to explain. You know what I mean? It's almost like I understand. I now fully understand amnesia, the spirit amnesia. I understand why we do that. Makes sense to me, you know? Because we do. We put ourselves through amnesia on purpose to experience this life. And it makes sense, because when you start to lose it, when you start tuning in to other dimensions and other things that are going on, it feels fucking weird. And this dimension loses its flavor, you know? It loses its flavor, it loses its intensity, it loses its you know, it just loses it. I don't know. It makes sense. I get it. I understand why they put that part into this game, you know? I just don't want to bring the astral realm with me into this. Okay, I'm cool. All right. Body's awake. That's all good and well. I don't want to remember that now, you know? Same dream over and over and over. And the funny thing that kills me, people ask me stuff all the time like, "Do you ever write your dreams down?" And I'm like, dude, I couldn't even begin to pull the first sentence to mind that would describe it. How the fuck am I supposed to write that down? You know? How am I supposed to write that down? I couldn't even think of the words that would begin to describe anything about that funky ass dimension or what was going on or what I was doing. While I was there, everything made perfect sense. You know, when you're there and you're in it, it makes perfect sense. You've been here for a long time. You know everything that's going on here. You know people that you've never met before. You recognize places that you've never fucking been before. You know, you have memories. You ever do that? You ever be in the dream and you have memories of something that happened when you were a kid in this dimension? You know what I mean? And then you come back here and you're like, and they'll be like, "What'd you dream?" And I'm like, you remember it, but I cannot explain it, dude. There's no way to explain that. You know, that's the trouble I always run into. So there's no way in hell I could write that down. You know, if I can't even explain it to you, how the hell am I supposed to write it down? You know? Yeah, it would sound crazy. Yeah, not just crazy, but stupid. Like, what do you mean? I don't know, man. Yeah. I personally am not one of those people that thinks it's that fucking important. You know, some people out there, like, they put on their detective suit, you know, and they're like, "Gotta figure out what this dream means." I'm like, it means your consciousness was bored and decided to do something while your ego was asleep. That's what it means. Like, I'm not one of those people that thinks that dreams are really important and they mean something. I mean, they might. I'm sure everything is connected, you know. I've dreamt about things that end up happening in real life. You know, I've had things that are connected to problems in this life that, you know, play out in my dreams and this and that. And that's cool. But I mean, I do a different type of inner work, a different type of energy work, you know, because when it all comes down to it, the only thing people are really trying to figure out is what the fuck's wrong with them. You know what I mean? The only thing people are really trying to do is dig underneath of their subconscious and figure out what their subconscious problem is. And I have different techniques of doing that. You know, I don't really, maybe there's some sort of dream work that can do that. I'm sure if not, then it probably wouldn't be so popular. There wouldn't be so many people that talk about it, but I don't know. I've never really been too crazy about that, you know? Not really. Not really. Anyway, still shaking that dream world off right now. Same dreams when you're stressed. Once you figure the message, it goes away, huh? Okay, that's cool. That's cool, neato. So, anyway. Anywho. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, and now here's a crazy one. Do you ever have like a really strange, funky, weird dream that you had when you were like a kid that you still remember? No, that's what's weird. That's weird. You know, I got a couple of them. You know, and one I remember in particular was so weird. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and explain this to you. And it had me so crawling out of my skin for years as a child. Let me explain this to you. It's gonna sound really fucking weird. I was in some abandoned like warehouse or something like that. Up on the ceiling, on the rafters. And I was walking on one of those rafters and there was a marble and it was rolling. And I was following that marble. And the sound of that was the only thing you could hear. And it was ear piercing, like, that's all you could hear. You know what I mean? There was nothing but, I mean, silence isn't even the word for everything around me. It was more silent than silent. It was deafening silence. And all you could hear was the sound of this little marble rolling on this rafter. And it was so loud. And that was it. That was it. And I woke up out of that dream. And that dream had me fucking weirded out for years. I would think about that and be like, you know, no way to explain it, you know? No particular way to explain it. That's it. That's all it was. And that has stuck with me. That was probably when I was about 4 years old. I was about 4 or 5 years old when that happened. Mm-hmm. Yep. See what I'm saying? And I can explain that. They only got weirder as I got older. You know what I mean? Or at least what I can remember. Got weirder as I got older. But that was the whole dream. The whole dream. And that's all it was. And that still stuck with me. That was 25 years ago? More? 25, 26, 27, and 28 years ago? Long time ago. And that's still in my head. And how fucking weirded out that had me for how many years as a child growing up? Yeah, that like scarred me. Strange, isn't it? Strange. How do I feel about marbles? It comes to mind every now and then when I see them. It does. It does come to mind from time to time when I see them. Isn't that weird? I'm telling you. My dream world, when I go, it's strange. It's fucking weird. And the only reason I even told you that is because I can explain it. I can explain that one. There's other ones that there are no English words to explain what's going on in these weird fucking places that I go to. You know what I mean? So, not strange. Okay, well, you know. Falling from the sky. Yeah. Yep. Those are fun. Those are always fun. And when you can fly, it's cool. Those flying dreams always feels like the air's really thick, you know? And you can, I don't know, it feels like the air is thick and you can grab the air and just pull yourself up, you know? Almost as if it's really, really dense and you can just grab the air and pull yourself up. I like those. Those are cool. Good morning. I don't know how we got on this kick. Oh, yeah. I'm complaining about the weird dream world that I woke up out of. And there's no way to even explain. Fuck, it's getting to the point I don't even remember anymore. It's getting to that point. It's like a past life. When you're born, you probably remember for a little bit. You know, and then after a while, you're like, well, fuck, I don't remember that anymore. I'm too busy concentrating on this shit, you know. Same thing. Or a near-death experience, you know. And like the human brain can only process so much information at once, you know. And and you know, that's what one of the things we're working to expand, because right now, as it is, this little dimension, It's about all it can take in. It can't take in a whole lot more than that, you know? And then when it does, it feels uncomfortable. It's weird, you know? It's getting to the point now where I don't even remember. I still barely have a little taste of it, but it's going away. I don't remember it anymore, you know? Do I do cusp readings? No, not really. No. Man, when I first started reading tarot, that was like I would get hammered with that question probably 500 times a day, and I never understood why. But I came up with a good way to explain why I don't. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna draw you something. Okay, now warning: I'm not a fucking artist. My 10-year-old draws better than me, but this gets the point across. Okay, so. This gets the point across. All right. All righty. So I want you to imagine that you got a big long building. Okay. And this building is divided up into 12 rooms. Okay, and it's a big, long building. Here's my crappy art. Okay, and in each room you got different things going on. Okay, different music, you know, a different smell in the air, all kinds of different things, different kinds of people. There's just a totally different vibe in each room. Okay, and you got to make your way through this room, all the way through this room, and then there's a door that leads into the next room. Aries, Taurus. And in the Taurus room, it's completely different. The vibe in the air is totally different. It smells different, you know. There may be different lighting in the room. There's different music playing, you know. And you make your way through that room, and then, see what I'm saying? And then to Gemini, and then on and on and on and on and on. Okay? So here's what the cusp is to me. Let's say you're in the Aries room, and you made your way almost all the way through to the door of the Taurus room. But you're still in the Aries room. You can kind of see some shit that's going on in there. Every now and then you catch a whiff of the smell that comes through that room. You can kind of hear the music that's going on in there. But for the most fucking part, you're in the Aries room. You hear that music that's playing in that room. You smell the smells that are in that room. You know, you're captivated by the lighting that's in that room. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? That makes sense. So, personally, what I would do, and this is just what I've come up with on my own. I have no way to like prove this or anything like that. This is just my personal opinion. What I would do is I would take which one are you in and closest to, which sign. And I would pretty much focus on that one. That's what I would do. You know, like let's say I'm an Aquarius, but let's say I was born in the Capricorn side. Let's say I'm like January 22nd or 21st or something like that, you know? I would see, you know, which one I resonate with more. Not just readings, but just in general, which characteristic, which vibration that I resonate with more, and how much of the Capricorn I can feel. You know, same thing like, well, let's just say I was February, what day? 20th, 21st? And I would say, okay, well, how much do I feel that Pisces energy? I would, you know, study it, I would observe it, and, you know, all that. And how closely related to that am I? You know, that's what I would do, personally. I hope that helped a little bit, but no, I don't really do the cusp readings, not really. I mean, maybe one of these days I could probably do that. I probably heard that question 100,000 times. Probably. It's been a lot, man. It's been a lot. So maybe that could be something that I could experiment with one of these days. It could be. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway. Well explained? Okay, cool. I thought that would be a good way to explain it. I like to explain things efficiently. One of my biggest pet peeves is when you see anybody who's in a teaching position or in some sort of public position, and they're explaining something to you, and and you can tell they do it on purpose. They make it real fucking complex, and they use all these fluffy, big, long words that they don't need to fucking use. You know what I mean? And you're listening to it, and it's just kind of like, whoa, that's so fucking complicated, man. I'm not with that. I'm not with that. Because I had, personally, on my path, I had to sift through all that bullshit to get, to the point to where I could spread my own wings and fly, And I always told myself, if in magical fairy tale land, I'm ever in a position to be able to do that, to help somebody understand something, or to teach people things, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. Because if I would have dumped all my eggs in that basket when I was on my path, I never would have reached anything. I would have stayed lost. I've just been lost. You know what I mean? Personally, I would. So I'm like, look, there's very, very simple ways to explain these things. And in my opinion, if you're one of those public figures or whatever the case may be in the spiritual community that has to try to make it as complex as possible, I feel like you're doing everybody a disservice. You know what I mean? Nobody cares how enlightened you look, Nobody cares if, that's not what this is about. This is about helping people awaken. That's what this is about. Not making you look enlightened. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. You know what I mean? But that's just, I very personally feel very strongly about that. So, touch on something. Hang on, let's see here. Oh, my need to be early? Oh, okay. One time I took Leah's. Yes, that is manifest. I saw when you said that last night. And I was about to say, so yeah, that is manifestation. Yes, it is. Everything that we do is manifestation. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's one of the things that when we were explaining that, because what we were doing, we were spinning off of people were asking what it's like for two Virgo moons to be together, And we were explaining, sometimes it can be really good, and sometimes it can kind of work against us, because she is very Virgo-y when it comes to cleanliness, and very Saggy-like when it comes to time. And I'm not. I'm very Aquarian when it comes to cleanliness, and I'm very Virgo-y when it comes to time. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what we were explaining. And yes, absolutely, that is like a manifestation, absolutely. Absolutely, positively. Yep. That's my next big thing that I'm working on, is not being have a stick shoved up my ass over time and being early, That's one of mine. One of my big ones. One of my very, very big ones. But it does. I mean, I understand that it's a character defect in many ways, and many times it can present issues of annoyance and make me angry and frustrated. I personally don't see anything wrong with it, though. I was like, well, what's wrong with being early? You know what I mean? What's wrong with that? I like it. If I have a time, if you say, Rich, dude, meet me in the parking lot or in the lobby of the Bellagio at 2:00. I'm gonna probably fucking be there at 1:30. I'm gonna probably be there at 1:30. But I'm learning to loosen up on that. Now, see, that was me 2 or 3 years ago. Now, I might leave at 1:30. You know what I mean? Now, it's 20 minutes away, so I get there 10 minutes early. I'd be pushing it, and I'd still be having a panic attack the whole way there. Oh, damn it, what if I can't find a parking spot? And if I can, how long is it going to take me to find a parking place? And I could be searching for a parking place just for fucking 10 minutes before I get to that. You know what I mean? And that's what goes on through my mind, I want to leave at 1. So just in case, which it is possible for you to show up downtown at the Bellagio and every parking spot be full. Just in case that happens, and I end up having to park somewhere so far away that it takes me 15 minutes just to walk to where I'm supposed to meet you, I'll still be early. That's my thought process. You know what I mean? And yes, you very easily can manifest what you don't want, thinking like that. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. I told you all 100,000 times, I'm on the boat with you. I'm on the boat with you. I'm just like you. See what I'm saying? I'm no better than you. No better than you. I've just spent a lot more time than your average person figuring these things out. But that doesn't mean I'm better than you. I still have my own things that I'm working on. I still have my own, just a regular ass human. You know what I mean? Regular ass human. I was just put in an extraordinary position several years ago to be forced to already have tackled a lot of those things. You know, a lot of those things, those character defects and reverse manifestations of mine. I was put in a position several years ago where I was forced to have to face that and undo it. And I've undone like a lot of it. A lot of it. I have completely undone and reprogrammed a lot of my old beliefs and whatnot. But that's still one that I'm working on, the time thing. I'm still working on that one. Still working on that one. Haven't conquered that one yet. I'm working on it though. So, anywho, good morning. Hate being rushed. Yes, Perry, yes, absolutely. That's when it gets incredibly convoluted. Incredibly convoluted. Take my career, for example. When I began to consciously manifest my career, bam, and it happened, I can look back and I can see things that happened several years before I consciously began to manifest it that had to happen in order to make it happen. You see what I'm saying? That's where we get into now time. That's where I haven't even begun to touch on that yet, because that's when I'm trying to warm people up to that. I don't touch on that stuff though, because like I said, I don't want to lose anybody. But that is when we get into now time. That's when the whole linear time begins to collapse. When we get into what you're talking about. That's when we get into now time, and there is no linear past, present. It's all right fucking now, you know? And that's when it gets really, really complex and hard for a lot of people to understand, you know what I mean? So, to answer your question, yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, I really don't, and I know that, like I say, a lot of times there's things that I won't touch on for certain reasons. There's no particular reason to have to watch out for talking about that. I just don't want to lose people. You know what I mean? I don't want to, if I started walking down that path and going down it too far, I would see the numbers start to drop. Like, oh, there's 52 people, 42, 32, 22. Like, everybody would probably just click out and stop watching, because it would get really, really confusing, you know? But I'm not saying that people are stupid. I haven't figured out a way to explain it yet. That's the thing, okay? It has nothing to do with you all. I'm not saying that you all are stupid and can't understand it. I haven't figured out a good way to explain it to make it understandable yet. You see what I'm saying? That's my big thing. That's what I'm really big on doing. Is if I'm going to explain something, I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to make it in a way that you understand it. That doesn't make it that you're stupid, because it's my job as somebody who teaches things, to where if I'm going to teach you, it's my responsibility to make it understandable, you know, and I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So it's more on me than on you. You know what I mean? Makes sense. So I would freak out what? With someone who is always tight in time. Yeah. Yeah, I've loosened up a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit on time. Because, I mean, to me, I don't freak out. It's just normal. The only time that it becomes is when it's like me and Leah, and she's the opposite. She's just like, no, let's just play around until we have 30 seconds to get there, and then we'll walk out the door. And I'm like, you know, I'm like, we gotta go. We need to have left like 20 minutes ago. What are you doing, you know? That's what I'm working on. That's the only time I start to freak out. Yep, well, we gotta be there in about 10 seconds. All right, let's walk out the door now. And it's like, the fuck? No. that's where I'm at. But when it's just me operating on my own independently, it's just normal. Okay, I gotta meet you at 2. All right, I'll leave it about 1:15, maybe 1:30, especially if it's only like maybe a 5-10 minute drive. I'll leave about 1:30, meet you. And then where am I meeting you at? Okay, well, I'll find something to do while I'm there. Meeting you at the store. I'm just walking around looking. I'm here though. I'm here, and I know I'm here. That's me. That's the way I'm wired right now. So I'm undoing it, you know. It's a tough one. That's one of those ones that's been hardwired into my head since I was a little kid because my grandfather was that way, you know? So as far back as I can remember, I've had that pounded and drilled into my head. So, yep. The longer you had a belief system, the harder it is to undo, you know? Doesn't mean it's impossible, though. It just means you got to work extra hard on it, you know? Just means you got to work extra hard on it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sage the kitten. Yeah, y'all want to see the kitty? Want to see a kitty? Let's go say hi to Sagey Wagey. I need to turn the air on anyway. I always forget to do that before I come on live. Let's go see the kitty. Sagey Wagey. Hey, baby boy. How you doing, baby boy? How you doing, baby boy? Where you going? He's a good boy. You're a good boy, ain't you? Good boy, ain't you? What you doing, boy? Oh, you want some wet food, don't you? Okay, we'll do that here in a little bit. We'll get you some of that wet food here in a little bit. He's a good boy. He's a sweetie. He's just really hyper. Really hyper and can't sit still. Really hyper. He's my buddy. He is my buddy. You're my buddy, ain't you, boy? You my little buddy, ain't you? He's my buddy. I'll feed you here in a little bit, buddy. I mean, he's got food there. He likes his little wet food, though. We feed him like once in the morning and once at night, little wet food. What you doing, man? All right. All right. He's your sweetie pie. I never used to be a cat person, man. Never used to be. And what changed me was when I lived in Maine. When I lived in Maine, me and the girl I was with at the time one day was sitting out on our front porch smoking a cigarette, and this pregnant cat walked up to us and went into labor. Went into labor right in front of us while we were sitting there chilling, you know what I mean? So we took her in, made her a little bed in a box with blankets and stuff like that, and I strapped me on some rubber gloves and helped her deliver the kittens, you know, and we kept two of them. And we kept two of them and raised them, a male and a female, and like magic, I've been a cat person ever since. Been a cat person ever since. Never was before. I was never a pet person, period, you know? I never disliked animals. I just didn't want one. I never wanted to have to take care of one. I never wanted that responsibility. And I'm one of those people, and I'm like in a very small minority. You know, there may be one or two of you in the chat here, but I'm not real big on dogs. I'm not. Not a big dog person, man. Dogs get on my nerves. And everybody's all like, well, why don't you get a dog? Why don't you get a dog? Dog. And me and Leah see very eye to eye on this right here. Not big on them. Not real big on them. Not really. They're annoying. They're too needy, you know? Our cats are needy enough. They are. We spoil the hell out of them to the point to where they're pretty needy. And they do. And because most cats, if you don't know how to connect with a cat, you know what I mean? You're not going to see that. They're going to be real detached and real leave me alone and real stay away from me because you haven't connected with them. But if you connect with a cat the right way, they become needy enough. But dogs are just entirely too constant. It's like they have this empty void that can never be filled. Like you can never, this unfillable void of neediness that they have. And it's just, that's too much. I'm like, no, get away from me. Don't stare at me while I'm eating. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. Man, I can't stand that. If I'm sitting there trying to eat and I'm sitting this, you know, while I'm eating, no, I hate that. I hate that. So that's the truth. Everybody always asks me, why didn't you get a dog? 'Cause I'm not real big on dogs. Not big on them. I don't want one. That doesn't mean I hate them. I love all life, okay? I'm a big pro-life person. I just don't want one in my house. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I'm not big on them. Not big on them. Not really. We are thinking about it though. Because like I said, we are taking the steps to getting our own house, and we are playing with the idea, if, this is a big capital I, capital F, if we end up getting a house with a big enough yard, we might get a dog, maybe. Right now though, we don't have a place for it to go relieve itself. We don't have that right now. We have fake grass. We got that little teeny weeny ass backyard with fake grass. It's got that golf putt thing in the back with that little fake grass, you know, and I don't want to like have to get up and walk the dogs every day. I don't want to do all that. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. I don't know, man. But we thought, we're playing with the idea, if maybe one of these days when we buy a house, if there's a big enough backyard, maybe, but pit bulls, that's my mom has 4 pit bulls. I don't like pit bulls at all. I don't like them, man. They're sweeties. They're the sweetest things in the world, but they're just too damn, I don't like them. I do not like pit bulls. Nope. Sorry, I don't like them, man. They're so hard. They won't listen. They won't listen to anything that you have to say. They will not listen. They are so stubborn and so hard-headed and so like, you know what I mean? They're just too stubborn, and they won't listen, you know? And they're really, really rowdy, really rowdy, and they don't know their own strength, you know? Like my mom, like I said, she has 4 pit bulls. And they're the sweetest, happiest, most loving dogs you've ever seen. But they're the type, man, they weigh probably 100 and some odd pounds. And they'll just jump up and plonk on your lap and just, you know, and you're like, ah, you know what I mean? And I'm just, yeah, never been big on dogs. I've never been a big dog person really at all. Not at all, you know, not at all. Maybe one day. Of course, like I said, I was never a pet person, period. Now I'm a cat person, you know? So, you never know. Maybe something could happen. Maybe I could end up with a little baby puppy dog like I did the cats, and maybe that could change my views. I don't know. I'm still open to maybe one of these days possibly something happening to change my view on that. But as of right now, no, I'm not a big dog person. Not a big dog person. Cats are like that little dude in there, little sagey, man, dude. All we had to do was take him and say, all right, this is your litter box. Boom, and that was it. That was it. That's all you had to do was show him where his litter box was. He knows. He uses it. No training, you know, not having to constantly sit with him and show him where his litter box is and clean up his mess after him. Just took him and said, all right, here, and set him in his litter box and said, that's where you use the bathroom. He's trained. Bam. That's that quick, that simple, you know? Dogs, unless you have one that's already trained, that's not a fun process. Not a fun process, you know? So, don't trust cats. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it just takes a specific kind of person. Me and Leah, here's the theory that we came up with. Neither me or Leah are emotionally codependent. At all. Not at all. We're not emotionally codependent people. We are very emotionally independent people. We don't need a pet or each other to be, you know, like if I have to, all right, fine, fuck it. I'm gonna go be happy on my own. You know what I mean? I can make myself happy. I don't need my pets to make me happy. I don't need her to make me happy. She's the same way. She doesn't need me to make her happy. She doesn't need the cats to make her happy. So because we're very emotionally independent, we don't need a clingy, needy animal. You know what I mean? That's our theory. That's just what me and Leah have come up with. I don't know if that's true or not. That's the only thing that we can think of, though, you know? It's the only thing that we can think of. But like I said, it's getting to the point to where we've connected with the cats to the point to where they're needy enough. They are needy. Oh, they do beg for our attention. Oh, yes, they do. Yep. And the only reason I don't have my black and white cat right here begging right now is because I got the door shut. He'd be in here right now, all up on me, begging, flipping over on his back, rubbing me with his head and all that, you know? So, anyway. Yep, we're cat people in this house. Dog laying on the foot of your bed. Yeah. Yep. That's why, I don't know. That's just what we come up with. That's just what we came up with. But anywho, I'm gonna have to feed him here in a little bit. I don't even know if Leah's up yet. I started doing this a little bit later than I normally do. How do I come up with how many shuffles? That's a good question. Sometimes it's a request. Sometimes, like I said, I do that because it's a request. I make the request. Universe, please put these cards in order in 3 shuffles or 5 shuffles. Sometimes I'll look up and I'll look at the numbers up here and whatever number I'll see, whatever number my eyes see first. Because up here on my side, I got how long I've been live, the number of people in the chat, and the number of likes. So sometimes I'll just look up there and whatever number my eyes see, I'll pick that number. There's no like blanket way that I come up with that. Usually more often than not, it's a request. I'm requesting, please, in 3 shuffles, put them in the order they need to be in, I don't know why. That's one of the things that, like I said, I'm not going to tell a story about how I started reading tarot. I'm not. A lot of you have heard that a million times. But I will say that I did sit around very obsessively for many, many months watching a big handful of tarot card readers with my own deck, playing with it, And I would watch this reader, and I would watch how they do it, and I would try that. Nah, that didn't really work so well. Let me try what this reader's doing. Let me try it their way. And so I got a bunch of little teeny weeny ideas from probably 20, maybe even 30 different people. I don't even know. And I mixed them all together and stirred them up. But there's a few things that I just made up on my own, and that was one of them. I've never seen another reader do that. Like every single time they call out the number of shuffles. I've seen people do it from time to time, a couple of times, they'll say, okay, I got one more shuffle or something like that. But like me, I very specifically state how many shuffles before I cut the deck. I just made that up on my own. That's one of my things, One of my things. If there was another reader doing that before me, I didn't know who it was. I wasn't watching them. I didn't get it from them. I made that up. I came up with that idea myself, so anyway. Anywho, speaking of which, I got plenty of good content to get out today. Still coming up with ideas. But yeah. Yup. I like this little spot here too. Oh, I brought another one of my babies up. Yeah. One of my good luck negative energy shifters, This little dude right here will suck the negative energy in and turn it into something different. Yep. This one's a beast. It's been out in the sun for like the last 2 months. All these big black spines are all brand new. This one, he's a beast, boy. Yeah, it's a toothpick cactus. Eventually this thing will get real tall and get some arms branching out of it. Yeah. Anyway. Yep, I'm weird. Oh. And I got this little baby blue torch. Little baby blue torch. Yep, I'm a weirdo. I just do what I like, man. I do what makes me happy, you know? I do what makes the fire go wow in here. Not what everybody else likes. Not what makes everybody else happy. I do what makes me happy. Sorry. Sorry if that makes me a bad guy. I want an herb garden. Yep. Yeah. We're playing with lots of different kinds of plants. Like I was saying, my bonsais, I got to do some sort of bonsai update. I'm sadly learning that for some of these, they just can't take the desert sun. They can't take it. Can't take it. I may end up having to completely start over from scratch. I have one up there that just rooted. It's sitting up there. I set it in the sun, you know, not full sun, not full sun. Like I know maybe it needs full sun, but not out here in this hot desert sun. I'm thinking about starting over from scratch because it's killed a lot of them. You know what I mean? And it's just like, damn, man, it's a bummer. It's so hard to get shit to grow here in the fucking desert. So hard. It's very, very hard to get shit to grow here in the desert. You know what I mean? But anyway, I still have the one Coach Drew gifted me. It's really hard to say because that's a weird one. It's a juniper. And, you know, apparently from what I've seen, a couple of people have told me that it's already dead, you know, but those are the kind that when they die, you don't realize it for like 2 months. You know, you can accidentally kill it and it still look good for like 2 months. You don't even realize it, you know. I don't know. But yep. Yeah, I got almost every damn cactus known to man. There's probably only a little handful of ones that I don't own now. You know, I got every one known to man. And the bonsais are doing okay. Some of them are doing okay, but a lot of them, I'm having to figure out ways of separating out how much sun they get. You know, only get a certain amount of sun, like in the morning, and then not in the afternoon, so it doesn't fry them. But anyway, thinking about going to a bonsai dealer today, maybe like a bonsai nursery, and seeing if I can like talk to an expert face to face. You know, yo, I want the baddest ass looking tree. Tell me how to take care of it here in Vegas. You know, I don't want to order one online from somebody who like they're shipping it from wherever this thing thrives the best, you know, and I want to be able to talk to somebody, a bonsai expert who lives here in Vegas, who can tell me how the fuck do I keep this thing alive here in the desert? You know what I mean? So, yeah, cats do not care. Bonsais are tricky. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Watch. I'm gonna get it. It's a challenge. I accept the challenge. I accept that challenge. You know, it's fascinating. It's one of those things, just like anything else, man. It's just like anything else. It's a hobby that takes my mind away from my career, away from anything, and it's something I'm passionate about. You know, something I'm passionate about. And that's the thing, we have to wire ourselves to think that way. How do you think I started doing this for a living? I did the same thing. I was just taking my mind away from my day job and focusing on something I was insanely fucking passionate about, which was reading tarot. And you know what I'm saying? Just so happened it turned into a career. Yay! That's a bonus. But you know, we really need to unwire our brains, and we need to stop chasing the wrong things and chase that fire, that passion, you know? That's how you live a fulfilled life, is when you start reprogramming yourself to think that way. I'm telling you. I didn't make that up. I had to have that taught to me, and I had to do the same thing, you know? So that's very much the way I'm wired to think right now, is I focus my attention on things I'm passionate about, you know? Not on drama, not on things that irritate me, not on things that piss me off, things that light my fire, you know? So, chicken to start your own tarot channel? Dude, I was scared to death, man. I was horrified. I already had a channel, though. And some of you know, you see a lot of the old, well, I selected a handful of them to keep them up. If you go way back to the very fucking beginning of my main YouTube channel, how many would you say? I don't even know. I haven't looked at it in so fucking long. Maybe 5, 10 videos. But I had a full channel of talking about all kinds of things from, you know, awakening, spiritual awakening and stuff like that. And then it got to the point where I started talking about Aquarius, you know, that a video of mine that I did on Aquarius got a bunch of hits, and I picked up where I left off there, and I'd gotten me what I considered at the time a decent little subscriber base of not even 1,000. I had like 900 people watching me, and I was scared to start reading tarot. I was horrified. I was like, man, I'm running out of things to talk about. I'm getting bored. I've been playing with these fucking cards for months and months and months. And the calling was so strong, and I couldn't ignore the calling, but I was horrified, dude. I was terrified. I was so scared. I've seen people make comments and they'll say, oh, back in the day, you were so humble. Now you're arrogant. No, back in the day, I was scared shitless out of my skin. I was nervous. I was a little dog with my tail tucked between my legs because I didn't know what I was fucking doing. Now I've just been doing it for so long and I'm not scared anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not scared anymore. I'm not nervous. That's the difference between me back then and me now. I was terrified. I was horrified. I was so fucking nervous I could barely even talk. I could barely even, you know, get on camera without stumbling on my words when I was flipping cards, you know? I was so scared, but after about 2 or 3 months of deliberation, I finally said, all right, well, at least it'll give me something to do. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Fuck it, whatever. And that was the outlook that I had. So when I did my first readings, which was September 2018, I went all the way from Aries to Pisces. I didn't even look at the comments, or it didn't even look at the views or nothing like that. I was too scared. I was too scared. So I just did them and didn't look at it. You know, now, I mean, I don't look at that shit anymore either. Now, to this day, I still don't like really look at the comments. I really don't look at the numbers or anything like that, but I've trained myself to do that now because that's a manifestation technique. And that's, those of you who've come to me for a personal reading, I teach you the truth, the science behind manifestation and how it works when gravity is applied. But anyway, I wouldn't even look at it. I was too scared. I just did them within a matter of like 2 or 3 days and just didn't look at it. And then the next thing I know, when I started looking at it, I'm like, you know, I'm that kind of approach, and I'm seeing that it's exploded immediately. Took off like a rocket. I mean, there was no lag time. There was no, I don't know. It just exploded and just like a rocket, dude, immediately. And I'm like, oh shit. You know? I guess this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know? And I could kind of feel through all that fear and nervousness, I could feel universe saying, ha ha ha, see, this is what you need to be doing now. Keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it, you know. Immediately, I don't know how, but a bunch of really big, huge, you know, names in the spiritual community, really, really popular, you know, and they started shouting me out and stuff like that. I don't know, how the hell did you end up seeing me, you know? One of them was a really big, well, I'll just say this much. I'll say this much, and this is kind of funny. This is kind of funny, but kind of annoying at the same time. You know who I owe a lot of my success to? The gay community. The gay community. They thought I was gay when I very first started. All the gay guys loved me. Loved me. Oh, loved me. And I'm talking really, like one of them, some of you may know. I'm not going to drop any names on here. I'm not going to do that. But one of them was an Instagram celebrity. An Instagram celebrity who's a gay guy. You know, but all the really, really big, popular gay people loved me. And then as soon, I'm talking the minute that it became public, and it was public knowledge that I'm not gay, poof, I got ghosted. Poof, nobody would respond to me, nobody would talk to me, nobody would talk about me, nobody would shout my channel out, no nothing. You know, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking serious, dude? Really? You know, like, because of that, Because of that's the only reason that you were, because now you find out that I'm not like you. So you're like, you don't want nothing to do with me now? I thought it was supposed to be the other way around. Isn't the general consensus that people like me don't like you? Isn't that what everybody thinks? Isn't that what everybody thinks, that people like me are prejudiced against people like you? That's what everybody thinks. But no, here it looks like it's the other way around, don't it? I'm not judging you. I don't give a shit who you are or what you like. That means nothing to me. But now that you find out my sexuality, now you're going to kick me to the curb. Hold up. That's not the way the narrative goes, is it? You know what I mean? So it did kind of piss me off for a little bit, you know? Kind of pissed me off for a little bit. I was like, damn, dude, I thought we were in this for one reason and one reason only. Awakening, spirituality, you know? Your sexuality has nothing to do with spirituality, nothing whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. Because, you know, on the other side, we ain't got no damn gender. On the other side, none of that fucking matters over there. You know, so, I don't know, it kind of pissed me off for a little bit. But anyway, yeah, that's a little, I don't go too public with that too often. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but yeah, that was another really, really big part of why I became so successful so fast, is because I don't know who it was first. I'm really not sure who it was first, but at some point in the gay community, my name got really big, you know, really like known and tossed around in the gay community of popular people on the internet. And then when they found out that I'm not, who, Rich, who? I don't know who that is, you know? And I'm like, whatever, dude. Fuck y'all then, if that's all it's about. You know? That's not my intentions. I've never, ever, I know that I am now engaged to a former subscriber. Had nothing to do with why I'm doing what I do. Nothing to do with it. I never, ever in a million years stepped into doing this with the intentions of making money, with the intentions of being promiscuous and you know, amping up my sex life. No, I'm doing this for one reason and one reason only, and that is to help people look at things differently, to help you expand your consciousness, to actually be a pebble in the pond of the awakening, of the Great Awakening, being one of the people who assists in that process, you know? And it's dressed up as reading relationships and love through tarot cards. But when you come to me, oh man, I think I'm gonna go watch this tarot card reading and gain clarity on my relationship situation. But then you walk away with seeds planted in your mind. You walk away with some very important seeds planted in your mind that have nothing to fucking do with any of that. Nothing to do with tarot, nothing to do with your love relationship. There's very specific seeds planted in your mind that you have a choice. Either you can water them or ignore them and let them dry out and die. It's up to you. But if you water it, it will bloom. And by default, your consciousness will begin to expand and your life will begin to change timelines. If you choose to. You don't have to. Dig what I'm saying? Dig what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I know. I'm not saying planting seeds is gay. You know what I mean though. What I mean is, like, I learned firsthand many times that there are a lot of people in the spiritual community who are not here with good intentions. They're not. Just like anything else, this is where you have to develop that sense in here of what's really going on in here. Because even the spiritual community, even the awakening community is infiltrated with evil. Completely infiltrated. So that's where you gotta have your moral compass set. You gotta have it set. Yep. Because you don't know who you can trust nowadays. We don't know what's real and what's fake. We don't know what's true and what's false. That's why you have to go. I'm not saying listen to me. I'm not saying believe everything that I say. I'm saying go in here. Here's how you go in here, and here's how you start taking control of your own frequency. That's the only thing I'm asking you to do. Not listen to me, not be an obsessive fan of me, You know, not come to me and pay me money. The only thing I'm asking you to do is go in here and take control of it before somebody else takes control of it and leads you down the wrong path. Oh yeah. Anywho, it is getting about time for me to get up out of here though, y'all. Right at an hour. So yeah, Allie, yeah, she is cool, man. And it was funny that she commented on something that what was that? I saw her in my comment section a couple days ago. I was like, oh, that's cool. I just discovered her. You know what I mean? I don't really watch tarot anymore. I don't. But every once in a blue moon, if the algorithm chucks me a tarot reader, sometimes I'll open it up just to check it out and see, oh, who's this person? How long have they been reading tarot? There's some people I've just ran across who have been doing this for years and I never even fucking heard of, you know? But I just got recommended one of her videos for the first time here within the last few months. Now, I never even knew who the hell she was. She got a pretty big channel and I clicked on it. I'm like, man, she got a pretty cool ass style, man. I kind of dig that. That's pretty neat, you know? Pretty cool. And I saw her in my comment section and I was like, hey, that's cool. I didn't know that I don't know if she's a subscriber or if the algorithm, it was a community post though. I thought only subscribers could comment on those. But I was like, hey, hit me up if you're ever interested in collab. I invited her to collab with me and I don't do that often. I do not do that often at all. No, I'm very, very, very picky and particular about who I collaborate with and who I work with. I see people in the comments all the time asking me to collaborate with this person, that person, this person, that person. And I ignore them for a reason because I'm picky. I'm picky. I'm picky. Yep. Very, 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 very picky. So, but I would definitely collab with Allie's Tarot. Oh yeah. Hell yeah, I would. Hell yeah, I'd collaborate with Allie's Tarot. Yep. Because she looks like she takes an approach to the tarot and the cards that's very similar to mine. Similar, you know. No, I'm not accusing her of copying me. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not accusing her of that. But it's very similar. Very similar. I could see like sitting next to her side by side, being able to bounce back and forth. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? So I've collaborated with a couple of people. That last one that I did with TR's Tarot Talk, dude, that one was bomb. The first one I ever did was with Illust Illuminator. That was my first ever collaboration. And I was so nervous and so scared because I was a fan of her. I was a fanboy of Illust for a long time before I ever even started reading tarot. She inspired me, like that. She was the one who inspired me more than any other reader to like want to do that, you know? Is at the time I was working at a car wash, you know, and that was what I did for a living. And on those dead days at the car wash, I would just sit in the office and watch tarot card reading videos with nothing to fucking do. I'll never forget that day, sitting at the car wash. I probably had another 6 hours. I'd work it for like 11 hours a day. And I'm watching one of Illust's readings. And I just remember seeing how she's got it set up, got her little table at her house or whatever, got that cool golden moon in the background, you know, and she's got her little crystals and shit. And I'm like, dude, you know what? That would be so fucking awesome to do that for a living. Look what I'm doing. You know, I'm sitting here at a fucking nasty old rundown ass car wash and it's all gross and I can't fucking wait to get out of here. To do that for a living would be fucking awesome, dude. You know, and that was the very first time that I ever had that thought, you know, when I was watching Illust. So when I got to collaborate with her, and that was like a year before I started reading, you know, before I ever even began doing it. So when I did that collab with her, I was nervous. I'm like, you know, I was fanboying it, you know. But anywho, about time for me to get up out of here, y'all. About time for me to boot, scoot, and boogie. Revealing Light Tarot. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Oh, I'm in your top 5. That's cool. That's cool. That's neato. Appreciate it. I do like hearing that just because I know how many people there are out there, you know. How many people are out there? That's another thing, the most important thing. Before I go, I'll leave you with this. Whoever that was saying something about wanting to start a tarot channel, but too chicken, too scared or whatever. Of anything else, okay, yes, there is marketing that goes into it, you know, because it's on the internet and there's an algorithm just like anything else. But everything else aside, the most important thing, this is what'll make it or break it, is that you are 100% your authentic energy. Yeah, I'm telling you, I know that sounds trendy. I know that sounds cliche. You be your 100% authentic energy, because people pick up on authenticity. People can tell when you're being fake. People can tell when you're full of shit. They pick up on that. Be you 110%. Don't sugarcoat yourself. Don't water yourself down. You know what I mean? Don't just you be you if you decide to do it. Be you 100%. That's so fucking important, dude. You have no idea how important that is. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, y'all. I'm going to go see if Leah's up yet. She had a couple drinky drinks last night, so she might still be asleep. But anyway, I'll see y'all later on the main channel when I put some content up on there. All right, y'all enjoy the rest of your morning.